Big fight, bedside analyst, Fury, Wilder, post-fight review. Right, it was an amazing fight, absolutely amazing fight. What I enjoyed it. I thought kudos to both fighters. I think they both went out there. They're both warriors. They both put their hearts on the line, their lives on the line. It was a good fight. Now, my personal view on it. Um, Put it this way, it's controversial because you go online or whatever, and you see a lot of different opinions and that. But I mean, basically, my opinion was, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be controversial, but I mean, looking at it from a point of view of boxing skills, as I said in my prediction, Tyson Fury technically is a better boxer. I said his movement was going to be good. It's no surprise to me. His movement was very good, and Wilder looked a bit confused with it and that. So if you want to go off total just boxing skills, and Tyson Fury did outbox him, but with Wilder, I've never really seen a fight there's not many fights he hasn't been getting outboxed, and it was the same here. But Fury is on a whole nother level, and I think he was outboxing him. But to keep it real, the first few, I would say the first 3 to 4 rounds, I would say the first 2, 3 rounds, them rounds were up in the air. I mean, I've got to watch it again because I've only watched it once, but those rounds were up in the air, and the first two could have went either way. Now, being, the boxing politics and that, being away on the champion's soil, you know, I just think the judges might just, them grey area rounds, them judges might just give them to Wilder. So, I've got to keep it real here. Those first 2, 3 rounds to 4 rounds, there were grey areas in there. It wasn't clear cut. I would say from the fifth round onwards, Fury was dominant. He was blatantly dominating. He was outboxing Wilder. It was just, but then you've got up until the ninth round where Wilder catches him. So he puts him on his arse, and then again Fury gets up there, and Fury again is outboxing the man, until again you got that, which was crazy to me, but you got the 12th round knockdown where I don't know how much, I don't even know how Fury got up, and I can only put that down to that was like the Holy Spirit jumping in his body or something, because his eyes rolled back and he was out. It's like some WWE like Undertaker type shit. But the man got up, and you have to show respect for the man. He got up, and then to carry on outboxing Wilder once he got up, that was some crazy spiritual type shit, man. But so yeah, I mean, again, a lot of people are calling the case for Fury winning, outboxing Wilder. I do think he outboxed Wilder, but again, I'd have to go back and watch it because, you've got those 2 knockdowns, yeah? You got the 2 knockdowns, and then I had to turn the commentary off because, I'm British myself, I love Tyson Fury, but I like Wilder as well. But I had to turn the commentary off because it was very biased, because the first 2, 3 rounds, it was just ridiculous. It's like Fury could have fought and they would have been like, oh, that was a nice fight by Fury. It was crazy. So I had to turn it off and look. And like I said, from what I can see, them first 2 to 3 rounds, they could have went either way. It wasn't anything clear cut. I would have said from the 5th round, Fury, he taken over. But again, you've got to look at it like, well, okay, imagine the judges given Wilder 2 of them rounds, the first rounds, and then he got the knockdowns in the 9th and the 12th, that makes it a draw, you know. But yeah, if you, you know, apart from that, if you've had Fury outboxing Wilder from the start, then yeah, you know, he should have won. But you know, like I said, from a totally unbiased point of view, Wilder possibly got 2 of them early rounds, or even 3. You know, now the judge that scored it crazy for Wilder, obviously watching something else. But that's the politics of boxing, you know, whether it's England, America, or wherever. You go over to somebody, you go over to their home soil, especially if it's for the belt. You know, this is the thing. I think that fight goes the same way every time they're going to fight. Wilder's always going to get outboxed by Fury. That's just my opinion. And Fury's got to avoid getting either knocked out or getting knocked down multiple times. But depending on where you have the fight, there's going to be always that advantage because if it was over in England, I feel, you know, again, with the knockdowns, it wouldn't matter about the knockdowns unless Wilder was going to knock him out pretty much, or outbox, you know, and he's not going to outbox him, then I think it would have been the same way. But that's just my opinion anyway. But, you know, so I think the draw, I know it ain't going to be popular, but I'm here to keep it real. I think the draw could have been valid because, you know, I would say out of them first 2-3 rounds, it wasn't that clear cut, so they could have gone to Wilder in case, which it did. Then yeah, it's with the late knockdowns, it's going to be a draw. But did Fury outbox the man? He did outbox the man. He did. You know, and there's a big case to say Fury won. But you know, you got to keep it real. I ain't going to be blinded by all the nonsense. You got to look at them first 2-3 rounds where Fury, you know, he didn't just outbox him from the first 2 rounds. He didn't, you know, so it could have very easily been a draw. But you know, like I said, big up to both, man. You know, Fury, you know, amazing for what he's achieved, what he's come back and done, you know, and like I said, there is a strong case for him winning it. But you know, I gotta go back and watch it again. But from them first 2 to 3 early rounds, the early rounds, they were grey area rounds, you know, and that's just my humble opinion. But anyway, bless up, big fight, bedside, analyst, peace.